Record. All right. Thank you for calling in tonight, Team Rise and Grind. I was not with you all last week, but Raina led the call, and it was a really good one. So if you didn't listen to that, please go back and do so. Tonight, I have two announcements before we get started. Super Saturday is April 2nd. It's coming really quick. So if you're not signed up for Super Saturday, please sign up for that. If you need help finding one, of course, I reached out to everybody in the team and found one as close as I could to you all. But if you need help with or have any questions about that, just message me or post on our team page. And then the Summit wait list. If you are not signed up for Summit yet, get on that wait list because there is a good possibility that you will be able to go. If you have questions about that, contact me or ask in our team page. All right, Shawana, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Wonderful. Shawana and I are friends in the Diamond group in Team Triceps, and we communicate a lot back and forth in there, and I really appreciate all of her encouragement and inspiration. And I was looking for somebody to encourage us to help our challengers get results, and Shawana volunteered to do that. So I really appreciate you being on tonight. If you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and get started, that would be great. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself.
Sure. Hi, everybody. My name is Shawana. I am currently a one-star diamond coach, and I'm married and expecting our first baby. And I've been a coach for approximately 2 years, seriously a coach for approximately 2 years now, and was just able to replace my income and be able to stay at home and take care of our new baby, which was a dream come true. So I absolutely love being a coach. I love helping other people, and the art of helping challengers get results is what we're talking about tonight. I think it's something that I've been fairly good at, and a lot of times I've turned those people who have gotten results and changed their life in a positive way, in a positive direction, they have become coaches. So it really does start with really just, getting into everybody's why. So I'm just going to pull it up. I actually have a slideshow for you guys that I did. Slides help keep me on track, especially being pregnancy brain. I'm telling you, it's real. Are any of you guys moms? Okay, yeah, like the whole placenta brain, baby brain thing, I thought was like a joke, but it's real. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my screen share and get started. So the art of helping people get, oops, let me fix that. The art of helping challengers get results. I will tell you guys that it definitely starts with why. A lot of times we have coaches who we talk to, and we're always talking about, you want to know what your coach's why is, right? Well, I feel like it works the same exact way when you have challengers. I feel like forming never dies. I always say this. I always say form never dies. So it never dies from the time you're meeting somebody new to the time you have somebody in your challenge group to the time that they become a coach. It never dies. You always ask questions. I feel like the best leaders ask the best questions because you're always trying to figure out how you can better help somebody else and where you can continue to pay it forward in their life, okay? So for me, I feel like dig deep. So when you're talking to a challenger, from the time you're friends with them on Facebook to the time you start talking to them about a fitness program, whether they reach out to you or you reach out to them, really when it gets down to it, I think digging deep, or I know digging deep and asking the right questions will get you further and get them further and help you help them reach their needs. Does that make sense? Okay. So you should know where they are, where they have been, and where they want to go. So, and how will they feel when they get there? What will it mean to them when they get there? So for example, you start asking someone a question and they're like, yeah, I really want to lose 100 pounds and this is what I want to do. And they're talking about losing 100 pounds, but really you want to kind of back up a little bit and say, okay, great, you want to lose 100 pounds. Why is now the time for you to be serious about your journey? Because you want to know why is now the time that they want to get serious about their journey versus 6 months ago or a year ago. Okay, what in their life has changed that makes them want to do it now? Okay, and when you say, so they will basically probably tell you their story at that point on how they gained weight or why they gained weight. So a lot of times it can go really deep and people can talk about maybe having, emotional eating issues, things like that. And although we're not therapists, there's always somebody that can probably relate to that. And you can just let them know that that's okay and that that's something that they can't overcome. And with your help and with your help of the group that you can do that as well. So once they say, okay, I want to lose 100 pounds, you just let them know, hey, that's doable. I think that's great. How will you feel when you get there? And what will it mean for you when you get there? So you really just want to know what it really means to another person, because anybody can lose 100 pounds. But honestly, I kind of feel like to get to that point, because I was 300 pounds at one point in my life as well, to get to that point of losing over 100 pounds, it really is a mind shift. And you have to have an emotional connection to it, or it's not going to last. So bringing that out of somebody definitely takes an art, okay? So that's why we're calling it the art of helping challenges get results, because it is an art when it comes to forming people and getting to know them. So once you start your challenge group and you have your challengers, all of your challengers why, and they're excited. So really you want to make sure that you set specific rules and prepare your challengers to get the best results that they can possibly get. It starts with you making sure that you set them up with success by creating the group early enough to where they can prep. Does anybody here do a prep week? Do you do a prep week? Okay, good.
Well, we do it's not in our group, but we do like a 5-day healthy eating meal prep. And a lot of our challengers that are in our regular group will go through that. I kind of like the idea of what you're talking about, though, incorporating that into your regular challenge group.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yes. Yeah, so what I like to do is I like to do a prep week. And I will tell you guys, the ones where I've done a prep week have gone way better than the ones where I didn't do a prep week and I kind of rushed it and just wasn't really a great leader at getting my group together. Maybe I was like, oh man, like I totally forgot. I gotta, get this group going or something. Because I have a peacock personality and I like to have fun, and sometimes I lose track of what I'm supposed to be doing. So, so I have to make sure that I'm on track. And a prep week really just helps you create a sense of excitement and prepare them for their new or continued journey. So every day in my prep week, the prep week doesn't have to be 7 days long. It can be 4 days long. It can be 5 days long. But every single day, I like to roll out bits and pieces of what we're going to be doing in the group. So for example, I'll post a how-to video of how they should measure and how they should take before and after pictures. And I make sure they understand the importance of prepping, whether it's meal prepping or creating a time that they're going to be working out. And then also I want to know how much support they have from their family or their spouse. A lot of times I get this in the forming process. I understand that, they might not have a supportive spouse or a supportive family, or they could be living in a house where nobody eats healthy and they're going to be the only ones doing it. So I want them to let people around them know, hey, listen, for the next 30 days or for the next 21 days or however long your challenge group is, I'm really going to be focusing on my health, and I really just want your support in that. And just let their family know that, hey, I'm going to be spending some time working on me. Okay? And then I always want to know what time are they going to work out. Because I feel like if someone's busy, if they're a busy mom, if they, work a corporate job, a lot of times it's really easy to lose sight and go back to the old habits that you were in before, not being able to get your workouts in. But I always remind them that we have so many amazing workouts that are like that are 30 minutes long. 30 minutes of time out for yourself each day, 30 to 40 minutes for yourself each day is something that you should be able to do. I always tell people, look, if you can watch Scandal or whatever show you love, you can spend 30 minutes, which is 2% of your day, working on you and getting your workout in. So I always want to ask them, what time do you think you're going to work out daily? Set that time aside and put it on the calendar. Let your spouse or your family member know that this is the time that you're going to be working out, and to help keep me accountable. Yes, I have the group, but also I want you to help me as well. Make sure they understand the importance of before pictures and measurements, and give a small gift or shout out to the challenger who posts first. That's what I like to do. I like to gift give, even if it's the smallest thing. Maybe it's a package of Shakeology that they want to try, or a headband or something like that. So I love to give little prizes of people who do things first. But what I want coaches to do who are in the group is make sure they lead by example, because it can be nerve-wracking posting your measurements and your before pictures on social media. It can be very scary. So I always let them know, hey, it only takes 10 seconds of courage. And I let them know it's scary for me too. Or it was scary for me too, but I decided to do it and I overcame it a little bit, but every time I do it, it's still scary. My success partner, one of my success partners told me before, I remember telling her, I don't want to put my, show my before and after picture. Like, I'm so nervous and stuff like that. And she goes, you know what? She goes, it only takes 10 seconds of courage to do it. So I always say, you do it first, and just be really relatable and let them know that it's scary for you too. It's not something that's easy, but it's also a closed environment and nobody else is going to see it, and it's a judgment-free zone. If they absolutely, absolutely, absolutely do not want to post it, I wouldn't force them to do it, but ask them to at least take their measurements and before pictures for themselves and to send it to you privately. Because one day they might come back and you have those or they have those, and they might say, hey, I think I'm ready to really just look at my results, okay? Because not everybody right away is going to be comfortable with posting it on social media, even if it is a private group. Does that make sense? So if they don't want to do it, I would say help them through it. But if it comes down to where they're like, absolutely not, then ask them to share it to you privately, or have them do it for themselves and put it somewhere where they feel like it's safe. Because I don't know, I always tell people that like the scale only tells like part of the story. It really does. Pictures, you can go back to pictures and see so much more. And measurements are so amazing. Dropping those inches is amazing. To me, it's more fun than seeing the scale drop. So start your group strong. So this is kind of after your prep week, but of course, during your prep week, you still want to do this. You still want to create a sense of belonging and a safe and family atmosphere kind of environment that, hey, this is a judgment-free zone. We're all here trying to reach a specific goal. Nobody here is perfect. We're not asking you to be perfect. We're just asking you to be your best and be mindful throughout this journey. So let them know that it's a judgment-free zone, safe environment, and just create, that atmosphere. I think like it's up to you to start it out that way. And then it kind of just snowballs. And I always ask challengers, I say, hey, you know what? This is not just for me to post. This is for you to post as well. The group is only as great as we make it together. So putting that out there and letting them know, hey, I invited you here, but we're on this journey together. So I'm going to participate too. because I feel like if you really, really, really want your challengers to get results, you have to participate also. You know what I mean? I just feel like, why are you running a group and then you're not even, then you go and you go ghost on your people and you're just throwing something up in Hootsuite over and over again, or Buffer or whatever. It's kind of like they're left in the lurch. Don't do that. I know we're busy coaches and we have a lot more to do, but your challengers who invested in themselves, invested in you as a coach too, they need your support there too. So share success stories of past challengers. Don't be afraid to do that within your group if you want to. Like, if you feel like your group is getting a little bit sleepy or they need some more motivation, don't be afraid to post a before and after photo that you got permission to use from one of your other challengers, or even another coach on your team, and share a little bit about their story and let them know, hey, if so-and-so can do it, you can do it too. So make sure that you're also sharing those things, and just keep your people in the group motivated. I think I mentioned this earlier, like, run small contests within your group. It can be like the smallest, silliest thing, like just keep it fun and exciting. But of course, put it in your, whatever your personality is. For me, I would be like, okay, guess what? Today, if it's your rest day, what I want to see you do is put on a song and dance for 10 seconds and send me a video. If it's your rest day. You know what I mean? Or if it's not your rest day, do this task or something like that. I'm not one of those people who do in my groups, I don't do like 3 posts. Like some people do, like a post in the morning, afternoon. I don't do that. I'm like 1 post for the day. That's it. But they're still posting throughout the day, like their meals and whatever questions they have. But I do one post for them to do that's mandatory each day. All the other posts are what do you call it? I guess they do on their own. Shout out and recognize all accomplishments, no matter how small. So have non-skill victory days. Express the importance of side effects of working out and eating right. Don't always focus on the scale. So make sure that you're not only, entertaining, I guess to say, keeping your group fun, but also make sure it's educational for them, and let them know that even if they're not seeing something on the scale, they could be losing inches, which is why we took our measurements. Let's talk about mindset. Are you feeling less sluggish? Are you feeling happier? Are you feeling more refreshed? Are you sleeping better? Make sure that you recognize those things and ask them about their non-scale victory. What is better for them that has absolutely nothing to do with the scale? Remind challengers of their goals and their why in some of your pinned posts some type of way. Okay? That takes a little creativity, but I think it can be done. I know it can be done because I'm always asking people, hey, when you get to your goal, when you get to, let's just say the majority of people in the group want to lose 30 pounds. I'm like, so when you lose your first 5 pounds, like, what is something that you're going to do for yourself, kind of thing, So I want to remind them of what their goals are. And then I want to remind them of their goals privately as well. When I say forming never dies, I really mean that. So I don't just put somebody in a challenge group and only interact with them in the challenge group. I go to their inbox and I say, hey, Becky, you're doing amazing in the group. I can't wait for you to rock that 2-piece we discussed. Do you have it hanging somewhere? Just to start a discussion, just to remind them that, their goal was, well, it's spring and I really want to feel good in my 2-piece by, July. So I'm going to remind them that that's what they wanted. I'm going to remind them that that's what they wanted by July. And by doing that, I'm going to go to their inbox and say, hey, shout out, hey girl, basically say what I said here on this example, just depending on who the person is, because I want to remind them and I want to see them get those results. And I want them to feel good at the end of their journey or at the end of their time with me in the group. So end strong. You always want to make sure that you end your group really, really strong. End it just as strong as you started. Okay, some groups can fizzle out, and so I started doing groups and just running them for 21 days. We might have a prep week for like 3 or 4 days, 4 to 5 days, but then when the real work starts, I start it strong, and I also want to end it strong. So I always wrap up with after photos, new measurements, non-scale victories, and what they learned about themselves along their journey. And this right here is kind of long. I can send these to you if you want me to, or send some of the other ones I use. I always have closeout statements because I want to know where people are going to go next. I want to know and I also want feedback. I want to know how I can make my groups better. I want to know how I can help them better. But I also want to know where they want to go next. Like the example number 2. So after I get their pics and measurements, and they either send me a video or they send me the pictures and everything, after they send me all of that and post it in the group, my last question, basically I want to know, where do they want to go after that? So they answer me, A, I'd like to continue my journey on my own. B, I'd like to join another challenge group for support, accountability, and fun. C, I'd like to continue my journey, join another challenge group, and inspire others to do the same. D, I'd like to continue my journey, join another challenge group, inspire others to do the same, get my Shakeology for free or at a discount of 25% with a chance to earn commission for referrals. Because I want to know where they want to go. Like, where do you want to go with this? Was this something where you want to inspire other people to do the same? Or was this just kind of a one-time thing for you and it just wasn't your thing? You know what I mean? So yeah, I only read example 2, but you guys can read over those, and you also have the recording. And you can just kind of make it your own. These are just things from the actual challenge groups that I've run. And one of our groups is called Love Your Body Bootcamp, which we run annually. I think we're going to start doing it monthly because they're always so great. And we always end up, having people sign up as coaches out of it because we really dig deep in that group. And it takes a lot of work. Like we have a set thing that we do for that group. And it really just touches our heart when we run that group. So that's why we ask the question, example number 2, when we're done with that, because a lot of people come out of that group like, wow, I get what you guys are doing. I get what your mission is, and I want to be part of it. So that's why I say everything starts with why, and forming never dies. And running strong challenge groups, I think, is where a lot of my strong coaches have come from. So that's all I have so far. Any questions?
Does anybody else have any questions? I know we would love a copy of that if you wouldn't mind maybe messaging me, copy and pasting, and we'll tweak it and make it our own, but I love that. The ending, that's great.
Thank you.
Have any questions? Shawana, this was very encouraging for me. I will be running our next challenge group, and I feel like we've kind of fizzled out a little bit on our challenge groups. We just get some fresh perspective. And so our groups always go strong the first week, get a little bit more quiet the second week, and then the third week it's just the coaches,
Yeah.
But I love some of the tips that you gave about, first of all, asking, like, why is now the right time? I love that, digging into their why a little bit more with that question. And then also, some of the things that you said made me think, I'm not going to run this challenge group by myself. After all, I'm going to actually ask all of our coaches to dig in and do their part, because we are all supposed to be proof of the product. I was just on Sarah's call. I had to hang up early to get on our call, and she was talking about proof of the product. And this just ties in with what you were talking about, and us being the example in the challenge group. If 2 of us are posting and we've got 15 coaches in there, then something's not right. And then those challengers are picking up on that. So they
Yeah.
follow the example.
Yeah, they do. And if you have that many coaches in your group, it should feel like it's on fire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it should feel like everybody's like participating and it's on fire. And if every coach that has, so do you guys usually do you run all of your challenge groups together?
Okay, so we've done it both ways. We have, when our challenge groups got too big, we broke off and we took like the, like Raina, for instance, we had like 100 people and she had, a lot of people. So she broke off and did her own. We were all doing separate. And then we decided to come back together, and they are smaller now because now we require Shakeology and a program. We just started that in January. We used to not require Shakeology, but we have found that the best results are with Shakeology. So that's what we're doing. So the group is smaller because of that, which makes it okay that there's so many coaches.
Right. Very cool.
Yeah.
I know that there's so many different ways to run challenge groups. I usually run mine with one of my challengers. I'll run a challenge group with my new coaches for a while, and then I want them to go off and kind of do their own. But I've also thought about doing like one big challenge group with the coaches too. So I'm open to trying new things as well. But that's all I have. If anybody else has anything, I hope that you learned something today. I hope that it helped you in some way, shape, or form. Or if you have any questions or want any clarification on anything, just let me know.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I sure learned a lot. Does anybody else want to say anything before we hang up? Is everybody encouraged? Good. All right. Well, I'm encouraged, and I also love the idea of going back to the one post a day, because we had gotten, about a year ago, we started doing the 3 posts a day, morning, afternoon, evening. And I almost think that maybe people just get so used to seeing us that they don't comment as much. But if we're only posting once a day, maybe they'll comment and post more. So I'm glad you mentioned that as well. That kind of took that off of me.
Because I leave it open to where they can post in the group as well without, I know some people just have it where the coaches will be able to, admins can post something and then everything's in a comment section. I have it where everybody can just freely post whatever they want. And I haven't had any issues with people not posting, their breakfast or their lunch or something throughout the day. But I think it's because they see, me post my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or me post throughout the day every now and then. Or, my success partner do the same every now and then. So they're like, oh, well, I'm going to post my breakfast too. You know what I mean? And then the one question at the end of the day, if no one's posted that day, they just come in and we have almost everybody will post at the end of the day. And of course, we all have those groups where some are just like not as good as others. And it just really kind of depends on, the people and the participation. But I really think having that prep week and making sure that it's a safe environment and all of that, and keeping it fun really does help. So I always say, just even your mission, you have your team mission, but tie that team mission into your challenge groups as well.
Yeah, that's great. You gave some really great tips, and I'm hoping that we can implement these and help our challengers get some real results. The last thing we want is for them to, be doing this month after month and not seeing results, and then disappear. They'll move on to something else. So, yeah, we know these products work, so we want to help them get results with them.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to spend with us tonight. It was very valuable. I appreciate it. And I will send you a copy of the recording.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Bye, everybody.
All right, bye-bye.
Good night.